Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady. Lots of hype around this ship. How adults only was it really? What's up with that tiny bathroom? Is the food really that good? Is all that unique entertainment really that raunchy? We will review that and more today on Seymour Seas. Today, I will be reviewing our most recent cruise on Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady. Stay tuned to learn all about the cabin, the entertainment, the food, the service on Virgin Voyages. Hi everyone and welcome. If you are new here, I am Doug and this is Seymour Seas, your cruise tips and planning channel where I hope to help you and your family pick, plan, and enjoy your next cruise vacation. When you're ready to book your next cruise on Virgin or any other cruise line, please email me here at the address on the screen, or you can contact me with the contact information in the video description. If you are a cruise enthusiast or you're planning your first cruise, I ask you to consider subscribing to the channel for additional cruise content just like this. Thanks so much, everyone, and let's get started. This was an 8-night cruise on the Valiant Lady between San Juan, Puerto Rico and Miami. We went to 4 ports, which was Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. We then went to Grand Turk, Turks and Caicos, then to Nassau, and then to Bimini in the Bahamas. And this was during March of 2023. The Valiant Lady holds about 2,770 passengers, and we felt that it was about 60% capacity, so it did not feel crowded at all. San Juan is a new embarkation port for us, but we love San Juan, so we went 2 days early and played tourist for a couple days prior to embarkation. As with all Virgin Voyages sailings, we had dinners booked in all of the different restaurants for each night of the cruise. We were lucky to get the Deep Blue extra perks due to the fact that we did the status match for our Celebrity Elite status, allowing us to have additional perks like priority embarkation, an additional $100 bar tab, unlimited premium Wi-Fi, and a free bag of laundry. This also consists of a $10 daily allowance for specialty coffees. Please watch my embarkation video for the Valiant Lady to learn all about getting the priority embarkation and the status match from Virgin. For the review of the Valiant Lady, I will be using Doug's Ship Score. For those subscribers, you've seen this before. For everyone else, it is simply a scoring system with 5 possible stars in 5 categories. These categories spell out the word ships, and S is for the ship design, the age and the condition of the ship. H is for hotel, which is the cabin and the entertainment on board. I is for itinerary. These are the ports of call. Are they safe? Are there a lot of things to do? P is for plates. This is the food on board, the quality, the selection. And then S is for service. This is for all of the cabin attendants, the customer-facing crew that hopefully make you have an enjoyable cruise experience. Let's get started with S for ship design. The Valiant Lady is in excellent condition. It is a fairly new ship being launched in 2020. It only holds 2,770 passengers, so it is not a huge megaship. It is fairly easy to get around. However, the ship is very much compartmentalized. There are a lot of small eating venues located throughout the main floors, which are somewhat difficult to find, I found. However, on Deck 7, you can traverse the aft to the stern very, very easily, and this seems to be the main corridor for getting around the ship. There are great outdoor areas on the Valiant Lady. On Deck 7, they do have a promenade that does traverse the entire length of the ship, and then it does have outdoor spaces on Deck 7, which is the dock house. And then on the upper decks, you do have outdoor areas. There is a very unique venue at the very aft of the ship, which is a netting that does look down onto that dockhouse area on deck 7, and it's really popular area. It does have hot tubs up there, as well as exercise equipment that is located close to the main athletic pool, which is a kind of glorified large hot tub, but not with the hot jets. The other pool on the upper decks is a very small pool. You will see that the only center third of this pool is actually able to swim or to plunge in. The rest of it is a very shallow waiting area, but the pool area is very exciting during the day with loud music being played, and it is somewhat of a party atmosphere. There are a lot of bars on board, and they seem to be well staffed. However, during the day, you're only going to see on the upper decks, the main pool bar is normally the only one open. That is located on the pool deck as well as one deck above. My favorite bar venue on board is the dockhouse at the after the ship on deck 7. This is an absolutely relaxing area. They would many times have some soft Latin music or other types of music being played with a live duo or soloist. The theater on board is called the Red Room, and it is very, very inventive, and they really shake it up in there from time to time, and I'll go over that when we talk about entertainment. The casino is a non-smoking casino, which is absolutely fantastic. You're also going to be able to access one of the main venues, entertainment venues, there on deck 6, and that is the Manor, which is an absolutely fantastic location, and it is used on many different occasions during the day and the evenings for different types of events and parties. The demographic on board is going to be very diverse and inclusive. This is a very LGBT plus forward cruise line. You're going to find the crew on board to be very welcoming and very friendly in all types of positions and venues. You're also going to find that this demographic is much younger than you're going to find on other premium cruise lines like Celebrity, Holland America, Princess, and Cunard. The buffet on board is very, very different than you're used to, and there are stations with different themes that are located throughout the buffet. It used to be that you had to sit down and a server would come over and take your order from the different types of venues. However, now you're able to actually walk up to the counter and order your items, and they give you a pager that will buzz when your order is ready. You still have the option to sit down and order from a server who will go to the multiple stations and bring you the items that you've ordered. Overall, I think the Valiant Lady has a very strong ship design. It is in great condition being a new ship. There are a few misses on board with some of the wasted space on the upper decks, as well as the very small pool area where I believe that there are some areas and some room for improvement. But overall, I'm going to give the ship design 4 stars. This is a great score, and look for the full ship tour coming soon. Let's now move on to H for hotel. This is the cabin and the entertainment on board. Both of these departments do report up to the hotel director. We had a standard C terrace stateroom midship, and it was a very nice room. However, one of the drawbacks of the room is the tiny bathroom. It is extremely small and it is very tight. And for a big guy like me, it was pretty tight. The shower, however, is very spacious and it had great water pressure. There are lots of outlets and USB ports both beside the bed as well on the small desk area. You also have a control pad similar to an iPad that allows you to control the curtains, the lighting, as well as the television. You can request services on this tablet, such as new fresh towels, water, ice, as well as any maintenance issue you are having in your stateroom. We had trouble with our television service twice during the cruise. We used the pad to report the first time, and it took quite a while for them to respond. Upon the second time it happened, we did the same on the control pad, but this time we told our stateroom attendant about it, and it was pretty much fixed immediately. We loved the hammock on the balcony, as most everyone does on a Virgin Voyages cruise. And one of the things with the stateroom is that there could have been a little bit more storage in the closet as well as in the stateroom. Next time, I think we're probably going to book an extra large sea terrace, which has a much, much larger bathroom vanity, and it has separate water closet and shower, both with their own door accessing each. This is a much better design, I feel, and a much better bathroom layout than the standard sea terrace. For a full stateroom tour, make sure that you go back to that embarkation video because it also has a full stateroom tour and review. So the entertainment on board was actually very, very good. They really stepped up their game from our sailing on the Scarlet Lady. Now, their main theater, the Red Room, is very unique, and it can be set up in 3 different ways based on the type of performance that they're having for that particular evening. Now, it is set up in a standard theater setting with the stage in front and theater seating facing the stage. There were a few different shows, all of which were very adult themed, and there was a lot of sexual innuendos, there was a lot of gender bending going on, and it was actually done in a very, very fun and respectful way. The Misbehave show as well as the Around the World with the Diva were both in that format, and they were a lot of fun, and again, pretty much adult themed. There is a stadium format for the shows, which you have bleachers basically on each side with the performers in the center. This is called dual reality, and it was very similar to that on the Scarlet Lady, and it is an exceptional show with acrobatics. It is kind of a West Side Story, Romeo and Juliet type themed show with just amazing acrobatics and something that you definitely do not want to miss. The open seating configuration is for the untitled dance party thing, where all of the performers are actually on 2 separate stages and they dance around with matching outfits, and it is kind of to a very modern R&B or rap type music. It's quite loud. The dancing is very modern type of dance, and it is not very well attended. In fact, just like on the Scarlet Lady, when I watched this show, I left after about 10 minutes because it just wasn't for me. The live music on this particular sailing, again, was much greater than it was on the Scarlet Lady. There was lots of live music around the ship. One of the biggest venues for live music is going to be the Manor. That is the 2-story nightclub. And then in the afternoon and in evenings, they had various shows there, one of which was Evening with the Hostess, which was a pretty good show, but it was offered multiple times during the cruise, and I found it just about average. There was also an illusionist that was in that venue that I thought was really, really funny, and he did a great show. There's also live music throughout the ship in the various bars and lounges, and there are a number of different acts. One of my favorite was the Latin duo that played many times out on deck 7 aft the dockhouse, which I had mentioned earlier. They were really, really great, and they played in a number of different bars and lounges throughout the cruise. On the Rocks is a bar just on deck 6 off the roundabout in the main atrium area, and they normally had a band or duo or live music being offered in that venue at various points in the evening. This can get a little loud and kind of hard to hear the band because it is an enclosed area, and a lot of people, because it's a bar, are having loud conversations, and it is a great area to socialize. You could always find some sort of trivia game going on the social club, which is also deck 7 towards the aft, and this is a very popular area. You can get some additional snacks, chicken wings, and other types of sweets in this diner type area, and it is a really great area, and they always seem to have some sort of trivia game going on in that area. The private karaoke rooms are something that you definitely need to take advantage of on a Virgin Voyages cruise. It is at the aft of the ship near the entrance on deck 7 to the Red Room. There are a few different rooms that you can reserve for free for 1 hour in the evenings, and we did this on multiple nights of our cruise. And then there is the Scarlet Night. This is the big, huge deck party on Virgin Voyages, and it is over the top. The entire ship is decked out with new decor and decorations, and there are various Scarlet Night events happening throughout the evening, and then comes to a head at the dance party on the deck at about 10:30. Everybody participates, so make sure that you bring your red, you bring your shirts, you bring your wigs, you bring your hats, you bring all your sparkly stuff, because people go over the top for this particular deck party called Scarlet Night. I have never seen a cruise line take such full advantage of a theme night, and it is something that you cannot miss, even if you tried on any Virgin Voyages sailing. So for hotel, we are going to give the cabin and entertainment combined a score of 3.5 stars. Let's move on now to I for Itinerary. This is the ports of call, and our ports were excellent on this cruise. We started in San Juan, Puerto Rico as our embarkation port, and we just love old San Juan. So we stayed 2 days before the cruise. We had a great time in our Airbnb, also playing tourists in old San Juan. On embarkation day, our embarkation went very, very smoothly. You were able to drop your bags off early and then walk around old San Juan. We had early check-in due to the fact that we did have those deep blue perks and the priority embarkation. Our next port was Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. Now, this area is a new port, and it has a beautiful and well-equipped port area with a large swimming pool, a lazy river, lots of bars and restaurants. So if you wanted to get off of the ship and spend the day just playing around the port area, you absolutely can do so. We actually did an excursion, so we got off the ship, met our group, and then walked to our bus, 40-minute bus ride to a bay where we met our snorkeling boat, which was medium-sized. It was an okay excursion. The water was a little rough. They didn't give you flippers, and though the crowd and group was a lot of fun, the excursion was just okay. And I would say that the ride to and from the bay for snorkeling, you did see pretty much a depressed economy there, and it looked like it was pretty dirty and not very well developed. Next up was Grand Turk of the Turks and Caicos, and we have been to this port many times as well. It does also have a very nice port facility with lots of amenities. It does have a large Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville with a freshwater pool, also a flow rider, and then it also has complimentary beach chairs on both sides of the well-established pier where you dock your ship. We elected to do an excursion in Turks and Caicos where I did a third party through Viator, rented a gas golf cart. We were able to go around the island with great direction and maps from the tour provider, and we made our way, after getting lost a few times, to the lighthouse on the north side of the island. And on the way, we were very surprised to learn and to see that there are hundreds of donkeys just roaming around freely on Grand Turk. There's a big story behind that, so Google it and learn all about the salt flats in Grand Turk. There's also a great downtown area with lots of bars and restaurants right on the water, and many people with their golf carts parked there, had lunch, and then in the afternoon made their way back to the ship. We did the same, and we decided to spend some time at the pool at Jimmy Buffett's before getting back on the ship. Nassau was our next port, and Nassau has a great brand new port facility that they've been working on for a few years, and it does have a lot of shops, a few restaurants, and you go out of the main gates, and you do have a downtown area that's just right across the street. I would not venture any further than this downtown area due to the fact that the U.S. State Department currently has a travel advisory, so make sure you are updated on that advisory if you're traveling to Nassau. Bimini, Bahamas was our next and last port, and this is a very small island in the Bahamas. There's not a whole lot to do, but Virgin has created its Bimini Beach Club there, where it does have 2 huge freshwater pools. It has a large beach with complimentary beach chairs as well as umbrellas. There's plenty for everyone, and it also has lunch served, which is kind of a small plate tapas variety, and it's quite good. There are a few bars there, and your bar tab from on the ship will also work and be applied to any drinks that you purchase at the Bimini Beach Club. Please note that in the afternoon, around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, the music is going to get quite loud at the pool, and a large beach party is going to happen. So if you want a very restful, tranquil experience, go in the morning and go back to the ship around 2:30 like we did, and the ship was empty. We had the pool and the rest of the ship basically to ourselves. It was really nice. So for Itinerary, I'm going to give the ports of call 4 stars for this sailing. We actually had a very, very good time in each port. Let's now move on to P for plates, which is the food and the dining on Valiant Lady. Now, to begin with, the galley is the buffet on board. It is more like a food court where you can sit down and order from a server, or you can walk up to each of the venues and order a dish. They will give you a pager, and then it will vibrate when your dish is ready. All of this is made fresh for you and is of very high quality. This is best for breakfast and for lunch when all of the different venues are open. For dinner, only a few of the venues are open, which is the diner, the burger place, the bakery, and the salads. Now, during breakfast and lunch, you can get a variety of different egg, avocado toast, bakery items, full breakfast, diner breakfast, 24 hours a day, and everything is of high quality. Essential drinks are all included. Sodas, waters, coffees are all included in the galley area, and you also have stations where you can refill your own personal water bottles. The pizza place on board is extremely popular, and though I did not have a pizza, I did view a lot of the preparation. These are made fresh per order. There is both inside and outside on the promenade seating, where this was a very popular area, and many people enjoyed their pizzas. I talked to a few guests, and they said that was some of the best pizza they've ever had on a cruise. All of the dining venues are specialty restaurants that are included in your cruise fare. They do require reservations, and we made reservations on the app beforehand and then filled in the gaps once we got on board day 1. I visited the test kitchen later in the cruise, and it is a really cool venue. It is a 5-course meal. It is very unique. The server describes each of the courses for you, and each course was exceptional, and I had a really good time in the test kitchen. Pink Agave is a restaurant that we had booked twice pre-cruise, and it is a small Mexican venue, and we normally get the ribeye at that location. However, this time it was probably one of the worst steaks I've ever had at sea. It was very thin, overcooked, and our service there was not as great as it could have been. I had talked to guests sitting on each side of us, and they said that they normally don't get the entree. They normally fill up on all of the amazing small plates, appetizers from Pink Agave. We didn't care for it, so we decided not to go back on the second reservation. Extra Virgin is the Italian restaurant on board. I could not get a reservation for this restaurant pre-cruise, but I was able to for the last 2 nights of the cruise once on board day 1. And we absolutely enjoyed this restaurant probably the most due to the fact that the food was exceptional, the service was exceptional, and we really, really did enjoy this restaurant. I can't stress enough that you should probably make Extra Virgin a priority for your next Virgin Voyages cruise. The venue that we visited the most was the Wake. The Wake is the steakhouse on board. It is the premier restaurant. We ate dinner there 4 of the 8 nights due to the fact that we reserved it twice beforehand, and we went 2 times as walk-ups and were able to get in very easily due to the ship only being at 60% capacity. Now, you can also eat breakfast or brunch at the Wake, and you can book this as many times as you want to pre-cruise. There is not a limit to the reservations. We ate breakfast or brunch at the Wake 6 of the 8 days on board. The food at the Wake is absolutely fantastic. John used some of his onboard credit to get a tomahawk steak, which was a highlight for his cruise. And then we also used our onboard credit to get 2 seafood spreads during our late brunch, early lunch servings at the Wake. We really made the most of that onboard credit. Razzle Dazzle is a vegan restaurant where we don't actually care for the menu, so we did not eat there. We did try to go to Gumbae one night, which is the Korean barbecue. However, as we walked in, we learned that the music was very, very loud. It was kind of rap music. And then we heard from the server that it is going to be a very lively, loud dinner. So we decided not to have dinner there that night. We got up, went down to Wake, and walked in on one of those walk-in reservations at the steakhouse. So we had an excellent experience with dining and food quality on the Valiant Lady. So I'm going to give P for plates 4.5 stars. Now finally, S for service. This is the customer-facing staff and the technology on board that makes you have an enjoyable cruise experience. Now, for the technology, the app worked very, very well while we were on board, as well as most of the time pre-cruise. Now, the internet was extremely fast. However, to use the app, you must turn off any VPN service that you have on your phone or your laptop. We use Surfshark, so we had to pause our VPN to actually check anything on the app while on board. The internet was great, and the app actually showed up-to-date account reviews as well as lots of different activities listed on this sailing as opposed to the Scarlet Lady, with all of the activities and communications through the app. It worked quite well, actually. At dinner service, we had amazing servers, and we did have some requests for a food sensitivity, as most of you that subscribe to this channel already know, and all of the restaurant managers as well as the staff absolutely took this to heart, and we had phenomenal experience with having all food sensitivities taken care of and prepared perfectly. The guest services also provided exceptional service, and as soon as they saw me walk up with my blue wristband, which was for the Deep Blue Extra Perks, they opened up a new station and pulled me in right away, and my question and issue was resolved immediately. The bar staff on board was extremely helpful, very friendly. You could tell that they loved their jobs, which really makes a difference at customer service and makes you enjoy the cruise that much more. All of the staff seem to really enjoy being there. They seem to like their job, which obviously translates and relates to a great customer experience. Because of this, I'm giving services S 5 stars on Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady. So now let's recap. We absolutely had a great cruise, as you have just seen. And I think that the Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady is something that you should definitely consider. The ship, the entertainment, the service is absolutely outstanding. The cuisine and food offering on board is absolutely fantastic, and there is something there for everyone. We didn't like the vegan menu. That doesn't mean you won't. And there are so many specialty level restaurants that are included in your cruise fare. The app and the communications and technology work so much better on this cruise than our initial sailing a few years ago on the Scarlet Lady. The Bimini Beach Club for Virgin Voyages could have some more designated quiet areas, but they do an excellent job providing you a very restful, serene environment during the morning hours and the early afternoon. And so there's something there for everyone. Would we cruise on Virgin Voyages again? Absolutely. We definitely would. So as you add up the different categories, I'm giving the overall ship score for Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady 4.2. That is a great rating and one of the highest that I have ever given. So we look forward to our next Virgin Voyages cruise. Thank you everyone for sticking with me on this 8-night extended ship review on Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady. If you did find this video helpful in any way, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And when you're ready to book your next cruise on Virgin or any other line, please email me here at the email address shown or find my contact information in the video description below. I look forward to seeing you on other Seymour Seas videos just like these. So thank you so much for showing up and for watching. And as always, I'll see you again soon.